Good evening, everyone. My name is Drinksley. We hope you are doing well tonight, and we know for sure you'll be doing even better after you check out this Potion D showcase. Tonight in the broadcast booth, we got Physics Shebane, we got Ingy Dave. Couldn't ask for a better duo. Gentlemen, how y'all doing tonight?
I'm doing very well, Glue. Thank you very much for throwing this together. Really looking forward to a great race from Potion D today. Engie Dave, how are we doing tonight?
Oh, we're doing great. Looking forward to a fantastic race between these three runners. We have Rybon, who is currently leading the group with 33 points. Bubbaski in third place at 24, and Nightdew in fourth with 16. So with 3 races to go, it is still anyone's group.
Definitely. Rybon has quite the lead currently, but Bubbaski could still potentially catch up depending on the placements coming through, and Nightdew does have the chance to potentially get third or second depending on the placement here. Rybon will be tough to catch up to, though. I understand you have a bit of a favorite in this race. Is that right?
Oh, well, I know just how hard Rybon is to beat because I was in Tonic with him last season. So, fantastic runner. All 3 great people.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He is a top contender for a reason. I just had to toss you under the bus a little bit there. I know you guys have a history, so yeah, we'll see how it goes. I know we're gonna have a great race across all 3 of these runners, and I can't wait to see how it goes for them.
I'm looking forward to seeing what these runners can show us tonight.
Yeah, definitely. You're a part of Ultros League as well while we're waiting for these runners to get kicked off here. How do you feel about Ultros League so far for you? What's your experience been?
Oh, I've been having fun with it. Currently, I'm in Potion A, 4th place in that group. It's been fun, fairly low stress overall, just with the ASIC races. So it's nice not having to worry about scheduling too much. Have you been dealing with have you been what have you been thinking about this season?
I've been having a great time. My pod has been quite competitive, especially with Judge Joe, my main rival this season. He has continued to absolutely destroy me just about every single week. 4 out of 5 of the weeks he has been first. So hoping that I can stick it to him the last 2 weeks. It looks like we are getting started here, but Nightdew appears to have kicked off a little faster than our competitors.
It looks like we see a Shadow. We see
Shadow, Setzer, and Sabin. So I don't think they've checked their menu just yet, so I guess we'll be seeing that here shortly.
Who has that dog in him? Well, that's got to be Drinks Glue.
Absolutely. I mean, clearly. Having some slight technical difficulties here with the latency currently. We are working on that on the back end here, so bear with us while we work through that. I do know that Nightdew did go straight to Gao's dad's house, and looks like he picked up an Esper there. And is now continuing to go on through Setzer's free check over in Kolingen for another Esper. So we have a couple rather rapid progression here.
I don't mind hitting a few Espers right away.
Oh, me either, but it really is dependent on the offense that we have going on. We are working on the background to get everybody back up here. For now, we'll just go ahead and commentate for Nightdew. Bear with us while we get there. Our top dog Drinks Glue is on the case. But Nightdew looks like going straight for as much progression as possible, right into looting Narsha. Wow, that is...
First chest Minerva.
Yeah.
The question is, which one of these 3 wants to be pretty?
Exactly. Who's going to look the best in a nice, cute little bikini, right?
Right, the answer to that is obviously Sabin.
Obviously. Yeah, I'm still waiting. I did not see Nightdew's skill, so I'm not sure what each of these characters has. That would make it highly dependent on how much I want to push scaling. I mean, he's done the 2 main free checks, but we still have to be thinking about doing Zen Thief. And do we really want to do an early Crumbling House, which is another free check? I might consider doing something like that if I had a throw start or a Magitech start, something that I can really pump out the offense on, but not necessarily if it's a low offense seed.
Or even like a Rage start if you have Ninja or Retainer or any of the good AoEs.
Definitely. If you have a way to put out some really high offense early on through high scaling, especially if you can find those earrings that you're going to need in order to pull it off, then yeah, definitely push that scaling up. It's definitely a risk-reward situation. You know, how comfortable are you with making the enemies stronger while you yourself are not getting stronger early? All right, straight to Returner's Hideout. This is kind of the route that I normally would take as well, heading from Narsh to Returners. Normally I would do these before I do most of my free checks, though, so a little bit different than me. Ooh, a Thunder Shield and a Mega Elixir. Pretty stocked up Returners, don't you think?
Yeah, I can't believe we're just rating their ability to deal with Kefka.
I mean, we're going to take care of it. I see that Rybot is back up now, so it looks like he is in Returners as well. So, looks like we have very similar routes thus far, though we were unable to see the beginnings.
Dried Meat Warpstone in that shop, that's a good shop.
Yeah, definitely. There were already Warpstones in Narsh as well, so Warpstones are not going to be an issue in this particular seed, which is a blessing in and of itself.
Easily accessible Warpstones? I don't understand.
It's baffling, and to find dried meat so quickly. I know there's no Gao yet, but just knowing that you have it is great, because when you don't have it, you're almost certainly going to run into Gao and then have to go on that hunt, and it's just kind of the worst.
Yeah, I think I saw Night to grab 2, which, yeah, the moment I see dried meat in a shop, I'm grabbing just a handful, in case the child shows up.
Definitely, because the second you buy 1, you're going to accidentally target yourself, and it feels real bad. It feels really bad. I see a question there from Pearl Earring. Did we see the abilities? We did not see the abilities. A little bit of technical difficulties had us miss the opening menus. So we're just kind of all going to sit in suspense for a little bit until perhaps our first battle, when we can see what everybody's got. I see a lot of earring purchases. So that means we're probably pretty magic-based. Everybody seems quite willing to throw down with all the free checks, so chances are we got something pretty good offensively to propel us early on.
I'm guessing we've throw, given the 10-pack of fire schemes we just saw bought.
That will do it. That will do it. Throw means go, so that makes sense why they're going to push scaling so high, and look for those earrings, look for those skeins, and just steamroll the whole beginning. All right, and everybody is back up. Round of applause for Drinks Glue in the background, taking care of business back there. Well done, sir.
Fantastic job, Glue. That's having to panic reset a stream on the fly is not fun.
I am most impressed. Looks like Bubba Ski's running through, doing very similar situation from everybody else, and Rybon saying, I have throw. We're going to push the scaling as high as possible. We're going to check Zen Thief. We're going to do Crumbling House. Every free check we can possibly do before we take our checks. Now, is he going to do some monsters in a box? That's the real question. I almost never do. Yeah, I almost never do, but I've seen some of them big dogs in Mega just level 3 throw down some chests. So I don't know. Bless them. I don't know how they do it.
If I have tools and a noise blaster, I am opening these boxes.
Oh, sure. Noise blaster and an air anchor, you can kill whatever shows up. Nothing else really matters at that point. Air anchor for the Gigantos, noise blaster for the Katana Soul. You're sold. You're ready to go. I suppose with rages.
Anything else.
Yes, absolutely. Except for maybe the Spectres. Those are quite good for experience.
True.
Let's see what we actually get from Crumbling House. Either going to be an item or an Esper. Hopefully an Esper. Push that scaling as high as possible. Get that experience high up. You don't have to do as many grind fights. Just get moving. Now, I imagine most people who have a Sabin start is going to go straight to Imperial Camp when they're ready to do their grind checks. when you have these characters, you have Setzer, you could do Search the Skies, which almost no one's going to do at level 3 unless you have Super Balls or some shields or something that you have more than enough to crack. You have Setzer that can take you over to Daryl's Tomb, and Shadow for Floating Continent. Is there anything you would do right now besides Imperial Camp?
I'd be looking to raise about 55,000 GP for that offering we saw for sale in Ruin Zen.
That is a fantastic plan, especially because I think I just saw that we have some fixed dice. Is that correct?
I believe I saw that.
Yeah, that is my true nemesis, but at the end of the day, we have a Setzer. We just got a Ragnarok from Zen Thief. We have fixed dice, offerings for sale, and a thrower. This is going to be a fast one, Engie.
Yeah, it is. And we did see Shadow could use both that Ragnarok and the Minerva.
That is absolutely incredible. I also see we got Cat Hood early, which is always fantastic. That extra money when you're going to go do grind fights anyway is invaluable, especially for that offering that we know is for sale. And we have shields to learn some magic. Looks like a strength +2 Esper is also huge.
No throw. I was incorrect on that. I saw the schemes and thought throw.
No throw,
we have Magitech, we have Blitz, and we have can wield dice.
Well, dice can basically just win the game early on as long as they want to cooperate. A Magitech Cyan is not exactly what we're hoping for. He is the lowest base magic stat in the game, so not really what we're hoping for. But Magitech is going to hit hard no matter what because of how busted Magic is in general with Worlds Collide and Final Fantasy VI as a whole.
Yeah, free level 2 spells at the start of the game. Doesn't matter who's slinging them, they'll do good damage.
Definitely. You get those earrings and you're going just fine. The 15, maybe even 20 magic. While it makes a difference, it doesn't make a huge difference on this low of scaling. Later on, it's not really going to be super viable, so I'm sure we're going to be looking for something different for Sabin to do as the seed goes on. The dice are doing what the dice do, and that's ruin everything. A lot of 1s and 2s I'm seeing down there. I'm sorry, I'm letting my bias show. I really don't like dice, but early game, especially if you can get that offering, really will just absolutely decimate the beginning. It's just so obnoxious to me that you can't rely on them.
I'm right there with you on the dice. I like them until about 20 minutes into the game. Then I'd like to do literally anything else.
Yeah, it doesn't help that they're also quite slow. I'm more willing to use a jump dice user, especially if they're a natural jumper with a horn and some running shoes. I'll take that over a fixed dice offering, if for nothing else, just the fact that the animation is faster. My other character's going to be doing some stuff, and whenever he falls, but fixed dice offering is just so slow. Is this a Colts play I see early up on Rybon's side?
I don't think so.
Where are we on there? Oh, okay.
No, Rybon danced.
He danced. Okay, I was like, wait a minute, that looks like a Colts background. Okay, so we have a dancer as well. I did miss that part.
But it was also the exact same formation that Nightdew and Bubbaski had fought.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I did see that. I was like, that's a weird coincidence, but didn't quite put the 2 and 2 together. Luridin fight, the 6th Luridin fight is huge for experience. Absolutely massive fight for learning experience, or learning magic and getting experience. So that is massive. We wish we had some area effect spells, but we can get through it just fine and really enjoy the amount of money and experience we can get from them.
I think for 3600 XP and 17 large, we'll get over it.
We'll get over it. We won't have any issues buying that offering by the time we're done here because we do have the 2 Luridin groups to rely on, and we had that Chaos Dragon encounter, which was probably an additional 15 to 20,000 gold. So we're really going to be sitting pretty on money if everybody got the Cat Hood. I know Nightdew has it. I'm not 100% sure on Bubbaski or Rybon.
That's 17 large. At least make believe Bubbaski has it.
Got it. And I just saw that Setzer is throwing down some fire dances, which is exactly what we would love to see on these Luridins. It looks like Bubbaski has not felt comfortable doing that fire dance just yet, but it is definitely the ticket for going fast. We got Bolt 2 and we got Fire Dance to take care of the whole pack at once. And I would say that's kind of the ticket for going fast early on most of the time is how can you get good area damage? Single target's great for bosses, but for those first grind fights, you'd love a way to take out the whole pack, like we're seeing on Rybon's side. We even saw the rage dance there. Just absolutely taking them out.
Well done on that. Or well done on that speed.
Yeah, great usage of the abilities available to him with, multi-target bolt 2, with a rage dance, with the fire dance is just all really working in his favor here. Let's see if Night Dew considers doing fire dance as well. Beautiful, beautiful on Night Dew's side there. Also taking advantage of the area effect damage, of which we don't have very much of at this point. But Shadow is absolutely throwing it down with 1,500 damage to the pack.
That's believable. Shadow's magic isn't all that bad.
Yeah. Shadow is pretty cracked right now. We were rewarded with an Atma weapon, which I don't know if you remember. I know it's been a long time, but there's an offering for sale. So we have an in-game ticket. It looks like for Shadow can use it. And I think Shadow and Sabin. So Sabin would have a job if he can use it. I need to double check that later. I did see that Shadow could, but I'm not 100% sure on Sabin. But if so, an Atma Sabin user, yes, please.
Oh, especially because Shadow can swing the Ragnarok, so you got sticks for 2 of your characters if Sabin can use that Atma.
That's huge. I mean, you have 3 characters with busted weapons. I mean, the Atma takes a pretty good amount of time to really come online. We're looking for level 32 or more. Even with decent vigor, if you're not level 32, you're just not getting what you need out of the Atma. But the other 2 are great from the get.
Yeah, that level over 32 added multiplier on the Atma does a little work.
Just a little work. We also have that strength plus 2 Esper, which again, throw that on your Atma user, let it ride, or the Ragnarok user. And just go from there. I do see in chat that Combustible Dan says Sabin can also use that Atma weapon. So that's basically his ticket for the end game. The question is, where do you think you would put that plus 2 strength Esper? Would you rather put that plus 2 strength Esper on Shadow and let him roll with that Ragnarok early? Or are you thinking about pumping up that Sabin for the end game with the Atma weapon and the offering?
I'm thinking pump up the Monk. We have enough power to get through the early game until he gets online.
I 100% agree with you. I would probably invest in Sabin more often than not. We have fixed dice. We have so much money. We could just pick up an offering and carry the whole beginning of the seed just with fixed dice offering if we really had to. And then as soon as Sabin gets there, bam, we're ready to go with probably near cap vigor.
Night Dew was chosen to give the Atma to the Lock.
Oh, that is very interesting. Locke is not typically a very vigor-heavy dude. I didn't get a look at his stats, but he would usually begin at a much lower vigor base than Sabin would.
Looked like with 36.
Got you. Yeah, Sabin's usually in the 40s somewhere, if not higher, with his vigor. So, interesting choice. Not the end of the world. You could easily pad that with the plus 2 strength Esper. I'm seeing some really good meteor strats over here, some good fixed dice strats to get through the Stooges early. That is not a group of bosses that you really want to see early on in the seed, especially with scaling kind of pushed like this. However, that camp was completely busted, so we are well over level on scaling with multiple Luridin camps and Chaos Dragon. We got no issues with levels. And I am quite interested to see how the Phantom Train strats go. Finding Locke could be huge depending on what the rest of the checks look like. And that is another Atma weapon. So
I'm fairly certain Genji gloves were also for sale in that offering shop.
Are you serious?
There was somewhere around.
If that's true, then yeah, this seed is just like, please use the big swords. Just that's it. That's all I want you to do. Just use the big swords.
I could be mashing my shops together though.
Got you. That's okay. They're somewhere on the looting path. So if they were not really paying attention, but taking notes or just remembering where they were, if they merely exist and remember, that's all they need. Okay, all 3 of them choosing to go Phantom Train route. I know a lot of players kind of fade Phantom Train in general, so it's interesting to see that all 3 are going to go here at once.
Yeah, okay, check confirming they were the same shop.
That is phenomenal. Like, you can't ask for anything more than some Genji gloves available for sale, some offerings available for sale, and multiple Atma weapons and a Ragnarok. Probably more Ragnaroks or Illuminas further on down the line. Yeah, this seed is gonna just come down to pure execution and who's gonna hold on to that strength Esper.
You could also have 2 different ammo offering wielders if you want.
You definitely can. I personally prefer to go with multiple characters doing 4 attacks than one character doing 8. And it's mainly due to the fact that I don't like using Octo that much on Kefka unless I have a way to mitigate the counters or the order in which I kill things, especially on tier 1. You know, if I can mitigate that Quake by having float, then I'm pretty happy with an Octo. But most of the time, I'd rather go just 4 and be able to control when I release that output.
But there's a whole going Octo is just asking Kefka to focus fire that character.
That's true, but at least most of the time it's not as bad as having VK where you're always at low health and they just get one punch down, you know? At least Atma, you kind of do have to babysit them a little bit, keeping them at high life, so they are less likely to get one-shotted. Yeah, chat says, comes down to who has the most money. I don't think that's going to be a single bit of issue with that cat hood.
Yeah, we have solved the issues of capitalism in this seed. Oh, yeah. Chat pointing out Bubbaski's the only one to have actually gone into that shop.
That is huge information. So if he properly utilizes that, then he's going to have a huge advantage to his competitors at around the mid to late game.
That would make sense that the others are taking monster boxes or not having that information.
That's true, yeah. That does make a lot of sense. And Night Dude's already out, heading straight to Barren Falls. Let's see what... Actually, this boss was the Stooges, so...
Yep, this was the triplets.
Yeah, we know what to expect here, and shouldn't have much of an issue. Again, scaling is just through the roof at the moment.
And having access to Ice Beam means you can deal with the top one easily enough.
Even at this scaling, even just having Blowfish is really good for dealing with enemies like this. But yeah, it's just, we're so far ahead of scaling. No issues to be had here, I'm sure. Looks like Bubbaski went ahead and took that monster in a box and actually killed it. That's one that I always run from. But, you know, hopefully he gets some use from the item that he picked up there. Let's see where Rybon goes.
I'm with you. I'm usually out the moment I see Presenter.
Yeah, Presenter, most of the time, even if I'm dealing with some pugs, I'll run away. Master Pug is an instant run. The rest I'll probably kill, except for there's like the robot one. I won't bother to kill him for a green beret. Yeah, I won't bother with that either.
It depends. If I have like Bolt 3, I'll just drop that on Telstar rather than fish for a smoke bomb.
Okay, looks like Rybon's heading straight for that relic shop. I believe this is where it's at.
If it's Ruins End, yes it is.
That is exactly where he's at. So it looks like he's gonna try and buy at least one. Looks like 2 offerings or a Genji and an offering. Yeah, Genji offering. So he's ready to throw down. Doesn't have the levels yet, but just waiting for it. Wouldn't surprise me if he goes and kills some early dragons, goes and takes Opera House or something early just to kind of buffer those levels a little more.
This is screaming dragon play.
Yeah, definitely. And he's throwing those Atmas on right now at level 22. Interesting choice. For those that don't know, the Atma weapons have a very strange sort of damage formula attached to them where it really prioritizes levels over everything. Until you're level 32, which in the vanilla game would actually be, I believe, 64 in the randomizer, because you're never going to get that level in the randomizer. We did cut that back. We call it Stronger Atma Weapon in the flags. It means that it reaches its full potential at level 32, and then it'll factor in your Vigor and things like that. And of course, level is factored in more than Vigor in general with any of the Vigor-based weapons. So as you can see, it's only doing about, well, I mean, 4,000 damage isn't anything to scoff at, but Once he's level 32, you'll see that throwing down probably 2,000 a swing, times 8. So it's always an interesting call to see Atma weapons put on this early. Oh, looks like we got the cranes over here, over on Night Dew's side. Where'd he head? Is he at
this is
South
Tunnel Armor spot, yeah.
Got it. Still going to be a very easy fight. A lot of levels, a lot of magic power. You know, we have plenty of ways to deal with them. And yeah, it shouldn't be much of a problem.
Despite doing reduced damage before level 32, Atma Weapon still has the property of ignoring defense.
That's true, and that's a really good point to make, especially if you run into something that you can't deal with, like Tritalk. And there you go. Well, we said that this is kind of screaming for a dragon play. Rybon obliges and heads straight to the Opera House.
Hey,
after taking
I heard you wanted a second Minerva and third Atma Weapon.
Oh man, they really needed it. You know, they were really lacking on offense and defense on this seed, so the seed has blessed them. They no longer need to worry about it. Bubbaski finds a dog in a chest. Not exactly what you're looking for.
I would not be surprised if, after seeing all this, all of our runners are done opening boxes.
Yeah, well, when they... I guess Bubbaski has actually not checked the relic shop here still, even though he's in Zen. He hasn't checked the relic shop yet. I think as soon as they go to the relic shop, if they do, they're going to immediately kick themselves. And be like, all those monsters in a box for no reason. Yeah, we're already throwing down about 4,000 with that Atma weapon, so, I mean, that's only going to grow exponentially from here.
500 swing already? Yeah, we're going to see this shot is doing some work by endgame.
Oh, it's going to be disgusting. We're going to be looking at probably 60,000, if not more. Also, Project Katana, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome aboard to this wonderful race between Potion D racers Rybon, Night Dew, and Bubbaski. We appreciate you. And that dragon goes down. So we have major path divergence here. I mean, Night Dew is doing the Search the Skies. We know that's a dead check. We got Bubbaski taking... He's going to get the Esper down here. Yeah, another Minerva. What did we find from the dragon? Did you see that? I missed that.
Another Minerva?
Another Minerva. Oh, great. What that sounds like is funding for another offering, if you ask me. Or another Genji glove later on if we find another big stick.
So for those keeping count at home, that is 3 Atma weapons and 3 Minervas we found.
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't know exactly who can use the Minervas, but it's good to have those around in case we find some of the ladies in the team who could wear it naturally. On the way to weapon shop, let's see what the old man wants to offer us today. All right, it's not dead. And that's an experience egg. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe he took progression. I'm not going to lie. I would have 1,000,000% took that experience egg and not been mad about it 1 second. That shadow would have been cracking off so fast. But I get the need for progression as well. Yeah, and without a Terra...
there's a case of where's my Terra?
Yeah, where is my Terra? I want that experience egg, but you know, it's the choice has been made. Must live with it, and off we go. What's our Night Dew gonna do? Oh, he's thinking, oh, he takes the progression as well. I am shocked.
I can hear Night Dew going murr, 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 murr from here.
Yeah, you could hear it going. I see Bomb Track PE mentioning that Bubba grabbed the offering, but no Genji just yet. So
they not had the money.
Yeah, and probably not too concerned with Octo yet, but I'm sure it's in the back of their mind. The shield is 11. Not great. We had a ribbon, but I think most of our players probably sold it for offerings at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, both. Bubbaski also has the same idea of let's go get some levels on these Atma wielders.
I love that decision. I mean, all 3 of our players now are like, we have a lot of Atma weapons. We have a lot of ways to use Atma weapons. We don't have levels. So we're heading straight up to kill as many dragons as we possibly can. I love that play. I'm just curious, is Bubbaski going to be the one to take the experience egg? We got some really experienced players in chat here. We got Drinks Glue here. We got Bomb Track in here. What would you guys have taken, the progression or the experience egg? I'm team experience egg, personally. So Rybon and Nightdew both neck and neck currently. I believe they've both done exactly the same checks, with Rybon slightly ahead, but better offensively geared.
Rybon is up a dragon over Nightdew. Bubbaski is just finished off the gold dragon.
Got it.
And Bomb Track and Drinks were both... Bomb Track's yet... He was both saying yes for it. Guys, it's a tough call.
Yeah, that makes sense. I do see in there Drinks Glue saying that, the egg is not needed with how silly the seed is. So basically this is a case of, I just want to win harder. I want to win more,
That's fair. You don't need to win more. You want to just win.
That is true, and that's actually, one of the things that most of my mentors over the course of my Worlds Collide career have told me. It's like you just have to win enough. You only have to win the seed as fast as possible. You don't have to win more. And funny enough, it's the same thing that I've passed on to some of my Moogles. Sigil, I've passed it on to Dwyer. Like, you already have this offense. You're already ready to go. Do you really need that extra piece? Is it worth the time? Most of the time, not really. So, thank you, Bomb Track and Drinks Glue, for reminding me of the lessons I also teach.
And you also got, it's not just that. That same idea comes into when you stop looting.
Oh, definitely. I would have stopped looting, like, a long time ago. I'm not sure what the chests are currently at, but yeah, pretty much like Bubbaski currently looting. At this point, I'd probably just be running as fast as possible. But he might also just be looking for more money, that's definitely a thing. And he looted a chest that was $22,000, so that's awesome.
This may be a Spaceballs 2 case over here. The search for more money.
Definitely. And I had mentioned earlier about a mentor problem or a mentor program that we have currently with Worlds Collide. If you are interested in checking out this randomizer, please visit us over at ff6worldscollide.com. You can join the Discord. Hop on in there. We love meeting and teaching new players, and we have a mentor program. We are more than happy to not only do a one-on-one with you live, or you can just record a video of you running a run, and we'll be more than happy to comment over it and go over some tips and tricks and how things could go better, different choices, things like that. More than happy to help you out. Bubbaski has found a Gigantos, which is wonderful.
That is even more levels for these Atma wielders.
Yeah, that's absolutely incredible. Pretty good grind fights up in the ascent to Floating Continent. This is a pretty good experience, which is great to have for that Shadow.
I know Rybon loves Floating Continent play.
How do you feel about a Floating Continent play?
I want last location at most times.
It's probably pretty similar to me. I will throw it in now and then, depending on what the seed tosses at me, but I do try to find an excuse to not do it if I can. Oh my gosh, that's a double Gigantos on Floating Continent. That is insanity. How much XP would you like? Oh my gosh, what's that? I heard about 6 levels, 7 levels per, if not more.
Yeah, I heard you want all the power.
Oh man, are we gonna get double Gigantos? That's the real question. Is this gonna be the only one, or are we gonna get another one after this? Well, I guess we're gonna find out here shortly, but for those that are not in the know, the double Gigantos fight is the single highest experience potential fight in the entire game, and it's not even close. You don't find it anywhere but a random encounter if you're really lucky, and we might have just found it in a spot where 2 of them might happen. We're gonna see. Yeah, the seed is insane. I hope that we share this at the end of the week. People in Seed Share need to experience what this nonsense is. This is the week of Jet, if you ask me. Unfortunately, we are not blessed with double Gigantos. We are back to hippocampuses. So we got one, but it's fine. Sometimes you just don't get multiple Gigantos fights. Let's see what kind of boss we have. I don't know that any boss at this point could really cause issues unless we're 35, which it does not look like we are. We're all 34s, so Doomgaze won't be an issue unless he comes second, which we
That's
don't want to
my
see
thought.
that. Yeah, we don't want to level up once on this first boss straight into another boss and potentially die. So that is the only thing I would be seriously afraid of at this point with how insane our levels are.
Bubisky also choosing progression, so everyone saw the XP egg, grumbled a whole lot, and passed on it.
So okay, I mean it makes sense. I mean our big name players over in chat have also specified that the seed is completely busted as is. You don't gotta win more, you just gotta win faster, and progression's the way to do that. Atma Weapon's probably already almost dead, and this is probably a really good fight for this. That's likely he gets 2 levels for this, because that is one of the higher experience bosses he could run into. And if he doesn't get 2 levels, we just got to make sure that you know, we don't run into. I've already named him Doomgaze, so fingers crossed.
What do you mean? We're about to fight Leader.
Maybe. Let's find out. It's a Chatternook. We're perfectly fine. All right, we have dodged that bullet. I don't think we have to worry about it for the rest of Floating Continent. There is nothing that can threaten Rybon at this point at all.
You say nothing. I say Charm on the Atma Wielder could be fun.
Well, okay. There are the weird off-the-wall things that could definitely happen. You know, we could run into a ghost train and get evil tooted. We could get overflowed by a number, whatever his name is. 1, 2, who cares? That guy. Yeah, that guy. I never remember the number. I'm really bad at that.
Fake
We could have
Magic
gotten charmed. Yeah, Mini Magic Master, exactly. You know, there's some guys out there who can do some really stupid random crap that there's nothing you can do about. But in general, probably gonna be fine.
Oh, I meant when I said Charm, I meant Chatternook's opening move being Charm on the Atma user.
Oh yeah, no, I know. Oh, we got a Yeti. All right. Is he gonna take it for the fans? No, of course not. I wouldn't either. Ooh, Nightdew has ran into the Gigantos as well and is probably very pleased to see it. Dr. DT rolling in with a 30-month subscription. What an absolute Chad rolling in here. We appreciate you. Thank you so much.
We see Bubisky took out the Storm Dragon on Direct Soul and the Soul Savers. Something you're very much hoping to not have an offering on when you run into.
No, kind of the worst thing ever. But we have so much other offense around. It might be a little slower, but just slapping that rag around and throwing out some ice 3s and some dice is enough to deal with it. So thankfully we're not only relying on that Atma weapon in this case. So yeah, it looks like Rybon and Nightdew are both just kind of hanging out, just in sync with each other here. I assume there's no other character coming, that they're just going to go straight to World of Ruin Narsh, which is a little annoying because they both already chose those levels to go up to World of Ruin Narsh, so we're going to have to make a second unnecessary trip up the mountain. But it is what it is.
I'm trying to think, what tracks haven't we seen? I don't think we've seen Cave on the Veldt yet, have we?
No Cave on the Veldt yet, no Colts yet. Other than that, we have seen everything but Phoenix Cave. So those ones, Phoenix Cave, Cave on the Veldt, and Colts. Which, Cave on the Velt's pretty decent, but there have been better options out there.
If you're looking for more levels, Phoenix Cave is not terrible.
Yeah, not terrible if you're looking for another dragon, but with the 2 other dragons sort of around, it wasn't necessarily, needed. But yeah, we're looking at, what is that? 16 to 17,000 damage from Shadow right now at 36 minutes in. Absolutely incredible.
And with Atma Weapon effectively scaling with level cube, that's just going to get even more ridiculous.
Yeah, by the end it's going to be absolutely absurd. We're going to get a little bit of free experience and some Tiger Claws down on Bubisky's side. He is doing Cave on the Veldt, so check the monster and a boss here. Interested to see what this check is. I don't think any of our players have gone to, or had any reason to go north of Narsh to check and see what Yeti has. So it'll be interesting to see if that is indeed a character. As with Worlds Collide logic in general, the way I've always heard it described to me is that it is more it is more deep than wide. So as you get new characters, there is a higher chance that that new character will gate an additional character. So if you're looking for characters and you're not sure where to go, frequently your most recent character is a good path to follow for the highest odds in which to find it. So we're still missing a character. So we have not scouted to see if Yeti had a character, which you can see in the cave north of Narsh. But it would be a good choice to make to see if you can find that sixth character.
Speaking of which, also reminds me, we don't know. Our sixth character could be a Kaden.
It could be there. It could be at Phoenix
right
Cave.
here.
It could be.
Or
right
Cave on
there.
the Belt. There could be a Cyan right there.
Ooh, Cyan is an amazing find with some of the best checks in the game. So that is a huge find for Bubba Ski. Yeah, Cyan being the owner of one of the single best multi-checks in the game, Doma Dream. You have 3 checks, one of which is guaranteed in the middle, and one of which is free for only the low cost of 2 bosses. It's a bit of routing, but, 2 bosses for 3 checks, 1 guaranteed, is uncalled for in terms of ability to get a lot of progression. And Doma Siege, incredibly fast. And then on top of all that, you still have Zozo, which is pretty fast with Warp Stones, on top of having a dragon and free.
And 6 checks gated behind a Resident Samurai. All of them good.
All of them good. And it is mentioned in chat that, with this find, it is probable that Floating Continent will be skipped by Bubba Ski, which is actually huge for potentially making up some time, because Floating Continent is the single slowest check in the game by averages. So,
and it's a very reasonable fade once you find Cyan.
Definitely. We just gotta hope that, a 6th character is found within Cyan's sphere of progression. I mean, he only has 3 choices or chances to get a character from that before having to rely on something like Phoenix Cave, or heading up to Kefka Narsh, before having to rely on Floating Continent.
And I could see Bubbaski making a play right now to Doma Dream. You're already in World of Ruin.
Definitely. And I don't know if you saw that, but Bubbaski just looted a gauntlet. The best single relic for a big weapon like Illumina or Ragnarok. So, fantastic. We just need a hero ring, and it would really finish off that build.
And Mike in chat pointing out the most important thing. Bubbaski did in fact pet that dog.
Well done, Bubbaski. You did not forfeit this week. It's good to hear, good to see. That's right, Rybon has not done this check yet and will make extremely short work of both of these cranes, with Shadow completely slashing them down. Speaking of which, I gotta make sure I post my lightsabers in chat from Perroquineries. We're gonna be seeing a lot of those this seed, for sure, and already have and will continue to do so. And you called it, straight to Doma Dream.
It's a logical play after finding the Cyan in World of Ruin.
Without a doubt. There's nowhere else I would have rather gone in this situation for any reason whatsoever. So, perfect decision making after getting Cyan in that location, for sure. Rybon throwing an Atma on Sabin, and an offering. So it looks like we're going double whammies there. I'm not sure if Shadow is rocking 2 Atmas and Sabin is rocking 1, though. I did miss the equip for Shadow, but we might be having, 12 Atma swings coming up.
Yeah, that is just too many lightsabers.
Never. Could never have too many lightsabers. Already level 41, and still 3 pieces of progression missing is insanity.
What I'm thinking is, Physics, you might be General Grievous right now.
True. All right, we got Senor Behemoth. That's not going to be much of an issue. The main thing with him is just don't use Flare or Pearl, and you'll be okay. So ideally, Locke does not proc that Ragnarok that he's got. It won't be the end of the world if he does. Again, levels are insane right now, but he does get pretty sassy when you flare or pearl him. I do see that Bubbaski is ready to go with some instant death, which fantastic heads up play there. Ready to go with the instant death on second phase to finish it off right away. So well played there. Rybon about to find his Cyan, so he will be very pleased to see that. So that'll be his 6th character. I would say I'm pretty likely to still do Dream here and be near guaranteed at least 2 pieces of progression for my unlock, at which point we're ready to go. We've been ready to fight Kefka for like the last 10 minutes. So if not longer, probably close to 15 minutes at this point.
The guaranteed reward is, okay, the guaranteed reward being Celis is huge because you don't get your 2 Espers out, or if Rybon doesn't get 2 Espers out of this, Magitech Research is calling.
100%. Yeah, you get the 2 front ones that are Esper items, so you got a 50-50 shot for both, warp out, and you're out. So, good call on that one. Yeah, but we're already looking at a dead for the Stooges spot and a character for the guaranteed. So, it's not outside the realm of possibility we get 0 Espers here, which that would be less than ideal if Rybon makes this his choice for Espers. And Dog Pet. Well done, Rybon. You are also still in the running. Good to see, good to see.
And we'll see if we go 3 for 3 on Dog Pets. I believe Night Dew is also in the cave.
Yeah,
and
they all went ahead
all
and
over us there.
Yeah, they went ahead and did all the Cave on the Veldt there. So, Bubbaski in an interesting position in the fact that he has not done Floating Continent, but everybody else, well, Night Dew and Rybon have both followed basically identical paths this entire seed. Ooh, and Rybon is heading straight to Doma Castle. Doma Dream going to be a bit let down in the fact that at least the first 2 checks are not the Espers that he seeks. We'll find out very soon if the throne at least holds 1 Esper and gets him a little closer to his goal.
But seeing the Celis means that you have a very good line on 2 Espers.
For sure. And even if for whatever reason you don't get 1 or 2 Espers from Magitech Factory. Hopefully we get 1 here at the end of Dream, but if we're only looking for 1 and for somehow we don't get it, we still have a good chance of finding it down in the basement. There's our Doom Gaze. What level are we? Do we pass the math check? And we do.
We do. Speaking of math checks, I did catch Bubbaski earlier when doing Cave on the Veldt. Made a heads-up play and took a grind fight after the all-over chest. Bubbaski was exactly 30s.
Ooh, well, it's a good thing he checked that out and noticed it before coming through here, huh?
Oh, it would have been fine now, but I did catch that during Cave on the Veldt. In just in case the Cave on the Veldt fight was Doomgaze.
It's funny how things like that can happen. You know, you make one sort of decision and it does end up benefiting you later on down the line, even if it wasn't right away. And this is not a particularly fun spot to be Doomgaze down. I'm actually not sure. Can you run into random encounters in the last areas of Doma Dream?
I don't think so. The castle part, I don't think. Oh, you can. Blue says yes.
Blue says yes. I've never actually had a cause to test that, so that is good to know that you can at least grind through there and not get soft locked by a Doomgaze. That is very good information to know. If that was the case, you better hope that you had a save available outside of Doma Dream. And is it an Esper? Oh, this is Celis. Still waiting to see what's on the throne. Night Dew has not done Opera Dragon yet. It is on the way there right now. So, interesting. Didn't take that earlier. On the throne, we have an Esper. So that is good for Rybon. He will be only 1 Esper short coming out of here. So, the question is... Go ahead.
I think we're on the same page here. That makes it more interesting. Do you do Celis' freebie before doing Magitech?
I was thinking the same thing. And the main thing I'm thinking about at this point, though, is how many checks does our boy Rybon have? So I'm gonna see if that's on their Twitch currently. I can't see it just yet, but if we still need a few different checks, or if we're getting semi-close to getting Skip, I would just do Magitech and start working toward that. I'm waiting for ads on Rybon's side, so I'm not able to see it. Maybe somebody on Restream Crew can take a look if they already have it up, and let us know how many checks we're missing here for the skip on Rybon's side. But yeah, if we're not that close and we're not really going to be pushing for it, I would probably do the free check and hope that that's an Esper. If I'm thinking about pushing for the skip, however, I would probably just go ahead and do Magitech and start working toward it. Okay, so we're at 17 checks. So I think you just do all three. You do Magitech front 2, you go do the basement, that's your 20, straight through the middle for your skip.
Yeah, because this will be 19 after getting those, so 20 for the freebie. Yeah, I think this is freebie first.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, this will be 18 and then 19 at the end. And then he could just have skip by only doing front 2 Magitech and the basement. Or he can do basement and just go on in and do middle KT, but I'm not sure which would be faster. I'm not sure if middle KT is faster with the animation time of dropping in, as opposed to just doing front 2 Magitech. But you also don't get a dragon from Magitech, so it's an interesting choice.
With this power, do you care about the dragon?
No, not even a little bit. I'd be looking for speed. I'm not sure which one is. I would probably wager that Magitech front 2 is faster in the long run, because there's very few cutscene situations except for the conveyors. And I guess, a little bit with dealing with the Ifrit Shiva fight animations. But the second fight is so close. And not having to worry about the fall animation and stuff like that you do in Kefka.
Speaking of toots.
Oh, we got to suplex the train on Bubba Ski.
Bubba Ski, runner of the people, throwing the suplex out.
What a legend. What a legend. You love to see it. All right, so he does choose the Magitech route, which I think is a perfectly fine decision. So hoping for the last Esper, I don't think there's a world in which I don't go for skip when I'm still missing an Esper at 19 checks. I don't think that would ever happen for anybody at this level of racing.
No, because you're guaranteed 20 minimum and 2 from center.
Exactly. Pretty Little Dead Girl mentioning in here, pet the dog and suplex the train. He wins. He wins hands down by default.
Yes. Regardless of the accolades, Bubba Ski is the winner in our hearts.
Yeah. He won the hearts of the people, and that's what really matters. So let's see what bosses we have. We don't have to worry about Doomgaze. We still have to worry about Magimaster, if worry is the appropriate term. We don't have to worry about Magimaster. Naidu actually went for Zozo World of Ruin, which is interesting.
I got the freebie, got the Esper off. That's number 8 for Naidu.
And trying for number 9 in the basement. Bubba Ski has not done Floating Continent, meaning he is at least 3 checks short from skip. Finds an old man, which is really unfortunate. Not the Esper he was hoping for. So still on the hunt, likely to head straight to Magitech. And we're going to find out over on Rybon's side if that's going to be a move. Let's see what the Ifrit Shiva fight will give Rybon.
I think the train at Doma Siege gave a Esper, so this might put Naidu in go.
Oh yeah, very well may. Also, we got a lovely dragon horn from the Ifrit fight, which is real sad. So let's hope the number blah blah blah, whatever his name is, gives a better Esper, or better just anything that we need to unlock Kefka. I suppose if this is not it, likely he's going to go straight to Zozo, and that's guaranteed progression, which we know it's guaranteed progression because we just watched Naidu do it, so. All right, moment of truth. Is Rybon blessed with the final Esper after taking down the Yeti and Magitech?
Or if we rolled a double item Magitech.
Yeah. That's so cursed. I hate it when that happens. I rely on this so heavily for at least one. And we have the unlock at 22? 21 checks, 21. So we just need one more thing.
Rybon and Naidu getting unlocked simultaneously. I believe Bubble Ski is right behind them.
Got it.
This was out number 3, that's right.
He did not do Zen Thief, so he's going to get the real quick skip right there for the Ragnarok. KT skip on Rybon's side. This KT is going to go fast, folks. Let's see how it goes. I see Night Dude's heading straight in, going down the middle for his skip. So that's going to put Rybon approximately, we'll say, give or take 1.5 to 2.5 minutes, depending on what the boss is, at Toilet Atma spot before Night Dude gets his skip. So Rybon not that far ahead, but is in the lead currently.
Bubbaski doing Mount Zozo. We know this put Bubbaski in go mode.
Yeah, so all three will be in the tower pretty soon. The question is Bubbaski going to have enough to go for the skip? And I'm going to have to take a look at that stream as well. I should probably remember to get these up before the restream starts. So, taking a look here, we got 20 on Bubbaski's side. So, we'll get 2 here. This will be his skip as well. So, he'll be approximately 1 or 2 minutes behind Night Dew. Actually, it'll be very close, come to think of it. Maybe about a minute difference between Night Dew and Bubbaski here.
We see the statue starting up Guardian spot, showing us.
Fun Baba with Shadow. He's not going to survive 1 round, I think. Yeah, I think he's just going to die right here.
The funnest of Bobbies.
Thick Baba taking 42,000 or 32,000 damage. And dead in 1 go. You know, normally he's much thicker than that, but not today. Not against whatever this Shadow is supposed to be. All right, Night Dude just about to get his skip. With Bubbaski not far behind, about to get his skip as soon as he goes and loots the last Esper in Zozo. Which I'm sure Bubbaski will be breathing a huge sigh of relief to see that Esper there. Getting a skip and the unlock at the exact same time really does feel good.
Oh, yeah. So
I'm not sure what the
quick safety.
Yeah, I would. Actually, I don't know that I guess I would, because Magic Master has not been found, and we really only have, well, I guess we have 2 characters that could deal with it. We would just have to swap over the Genji Atmas.
And I don't believe Night Dew has seen the. I don't think Night Dew has seen the Doom Gaze, so.
So he'd be much more worried about it.
Yeah, with a full level 45 party, I would take a safety.
All right, so Night Dew is in on the switches with Bubbaski getting his skip right now. So is he going to head straight in? What are we looking at here? I'm not sure what the armor situation looks like. I haven't seen the equip list in a while.
It looks like Minervas, and more Minervas.
You're right, Minervas were a thing for the whole start of the seed, so... Don't think armor is going to be too bad. We do have to worry about helmets and shields a little bit. I know we found some elemental shields around, so should be fine. And Night Dew's also hitting really hard with those Atmas, but no offering versus Fun Baba this time, so this fight will be a little longer.
Now we're still doing 12,000 to swing.
Yeah, it's okay. It's decent. It's not 32,000. I guess 12,000 will do just fine. Yeah, it is mentioned in there. You know, I know Rybon did pet the dog there, but didn't get the meme chest. You know, no validation chest. Is this even a legit run at this point? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's a forfeit. You don't open the validation.
Yeah. I mean, the seed's not validated. You can't win on an unvalidated seed. And you know, if Bubbaski skips it, I will give it a pass, because he has 2 winning moves with the suplexing of the train and also petting the dog. So, you know, if he doesn't get the validation, it's fine. He has 1 to override it, but Rybon doesn't have that benefit, so I don't know what to say, everybody. It's a forfeit. We'll see how Night Dew and Bubbaski do. Bubbaski getting Cyan frozen, but thankfully Sabin is able to avoid that. Let's just hope we don't see any more North Crosses and we just get through this without having to just watch a couple frozen characters.
Oh, that is the absolute worst.
Yeah, I love just sitting there and waiting a nice 30 to 60 seconds doing nothing. It's so fun. It's very engaging when that happens, you know?
And even more fun when, it's a normal fight and you get quad frozen.
It's awful, especially in Tier 2 when it's such a deadly fight anyway and there's nothing you can do about it. Ooh, we're getting some quick strats, it looks like, over on Rybon's side to take care of this Doom with Flare.
And I honestly, if you're going to use magic, I like the quick here because Doom throws Reflect Up.
He does throw Reflect Up, but I just saw that Rybon staged up his Pearl Rod. He is ready to toss that out the second that he goes into Phase 2. So he's prepared. He knows what's up.
And the nice part here is that Pearl Rod, or rods in general, don't respect Reflects.
They do not. They go right through it, and also Doom does not like Pearl, so it's a double whammy. The Doom is causing some issues for both sides in terms of speed, but not really in terms of danger. So I believe Rybon will... Well, I think Bubbaski's going to get through it first, yeah. But I don't think Rybon's going to be very far behind with these quick flare strats straight into a Pearl Rod. Should end it as soon as he's done with these 2 flares. A good call by Drinks Glue. I was unsure if he had Dispel, but Dispel is a wonderful tool to have versus Reflect. I know it's a spell, but it doesn't matter. Reflect does not reflect Dispel. You can Dispel Reflect off of things. And then you don't have to worry about it anymore. Argus going down nice with some good rolls.
I did not see Dispel on Rybon's Spellist, so very good call.
But this Pearl Rod should send it. If it doesn't, Dispel is definitely an option, but this should probably do close to quad 9s. Yeah, and that should... Ooh, not quite. Meteor will work, though.
This Doom is thick.
Yeah, I am shocked he's not dead. He's got to be, like, on the edge, though. So Night Dew heading onto the last of his statues, which is going to be that Doom as well, which has kind of slowed just about everybody down. You know, everything else went down for just with no issue whatsoever, but that Doom was kind of a roadblock for speed there. But Rybon is the first one to clear all of his statues. Probably going to get a quick save here and straight on to Kefka, which I think is going to be pretty fast.
And we have switches at the hour mark.
An incredible time, and yeah, I mean, these potion guys are no joke. All 3 of them putting on an amazing clinic of speed here, which you love to see. Ooh, Night Dew's looking pretty good with his offense there. The downside is Phase 2 of Doom is not just Reflect, but also Image, so he's going to have an issue hitting with that Ragnarok unless he can break the Image quickly. He can get lucky and just hit him first try.
Here too.
Oh, it looks like that's what he's doing as well, just to try and get a swing in there.
Yeah. Image is what, 25% chance to break on every swing?
I do believe so, yeah. So once you break it, it's gone for good.
Best way to break it is just more swings.
Yeah, swing as much as possible. Looks like he's going for Aura Bolt strats, which is great. He's weak to Pearl.
5k and Aura Bolt, that'll work.
All right, so we are about to start Phase 1 of Kefka at 1 hour and 37 minutes. Phase 1 has 3 parts to it. Long arm closest to the screen can be instant death. Also likes to throw out shockwaves if you leave it alive. The head likes to do reverse polarity and turn people to stone. It is weak to fire. And then the short arm just likes to punch stuff. So it will counter your attacks with attacks, and it will then attack. It does a lot of damage, and it's all physical. Goal here, instant death the long arm if you can, kill the head, and then finally, kill the short arm.
Yes.
Order is important here. If the long arm is the last one to die, you will get multi-shockwaved. That is not really that much of an issue. The issue is if you kill the head last, you will be quaked, and there's a lot of parties that cannot stand up to a quake at the end of a phase. But Rybon's party 100% can stand up to a quake. If you heal that Setzer and just go insane, or float, I love these strats, don't have to worry about quake. Let loose on that Atmo weapon, win the game.
Rybon having some issues with RNG. I saw 2 X zones and an Odin whiff on short arm so far.
Yeah, I think he was also just waiting for that long arm to die before he started swinging out those Atmas to avoid wasted damage to the long arm that he wanted to instant death. Night Dew about to start as well, just about 1 minute behind. So this is going to be a fight, like a very close neck and neck race to the finish between Rybon and Night Dew.
Anything can happen in this Kefka fight. Right? We've seen it. As we mentioned earlier, Phase 2 could just decide your entire party's not allowed to act.
That's true. It could absolutely happen. He's probably got some good fire magic in reserve, though. So as long as everybody doesn't get frozen, we'll be fine. Also, shout outs to that punchy hand I said likes to hit stuff and counter. Just not doing that. Did not hit Saban. Did not hit Shadow. Let it happen. Move on to Phase 2. You want to go over what to expect on Phase 2 here?
Phase 2, in the back, we have Magic, who, as you would expect, uses a lot of magic. Magic can be muted. Generally good idea. In the center, we have Tools. Tools is weak to Bolt, and more importantly, can be instant death. The bottom Tiger Head looking thing is appropriately called Tiger. It is weak to ice and generally a jerk. You should probably focus fire it.
You should definitely focus fire it.
It can zombie you, it can freeze you. The muscly looking guy in the front is hit, and as the name would imply, it hit. It can be stopped, although generally not needed. When hit is defeated, it will counterstrike with 10 hits, which is 10 hits. When magic is defeated, it will counter with 0 to 2 dispels, then 0 to 1 quarters.
Definitely. This is probably the most threatening phase overall. I know Phase 3 is kind of vilified by the community as being just disastrous sometimes, but Phase 2 can really spiral out of control so fast if things go wrong. You can be frozen, you can just have magic. If you don't have mute, he could throw spells out constantly. If you don't have instant death, you can get multiple targeted with multiple multi-target spells by tools and magic at the same time. It just spirals so bad sometimes.
We saw the Siren summon come out on Night Dew's side. That will mute magic, so magic is now completely slowed down, or completely stopped.
Yeah, can't do anything until he's at about just under 10,000. Until then, nothing.
And they'll just flash some spells on the screen and do nothing until the final strike, which I don't know the exact word, but apparently reducing HP 0 also removes the mute.
Yeah, they go straight through mute when he's dying, so you can still get multi-quartered, you can still get dispelled and all those things, which can be dangerous if you kill magic and hit at the same time, because those quarters will come out first. So you can get quartered down, and then that 10 hits can come out and really devastate your party. Not a problem, because Rybon only had magic up, took him out, moving on to Phase 3. As expected, this Kefka is absolutely blazing fast.
Bubbaski's side. Bubbaski is also in this Kef, or is also joining the Kefka in Phase 1. We see the same thing, just let the Atmas do their thing.
It is the Atma party here. We are on Phase 3 over on Rybon's side. I know Night Dew's not very far behind. Phase 3, we got the bust, the woman head in the back. We call her Lady. She basically does nothing but heal. So she'll heal Rest, and also can life 2 Rest, who is in the front, if he dies first. Lady can take 0 elemental damage and only will take damage from non-elemental and physical. She only has 10,000 life, very easy to kill, but she needs to go first. Rest has 40,000 life. The problem with him is after he gets after he takes more than about 28,500 damage, that's when you have to start worrying about his counters, which include Meteo, or what you're seeing right now, Train. Meteo is an extremely heavy damaging physical attack that has pretty low accuracy, but he can spam them multiple times in a row. In this case, he just did Train, followed by a Meteo, which was fine. Every time you attack him from the point that he is past that 28.5, he can counter again until he dies. When he dies, you see that fun attack, Calmness. Calmness can instantly kill anybody that it makes contact with. It is a physical attack and therefore can be mitigated by physical mitigation. That could be Vanish, that can be Image, that can be Golem, and if times are really rough, Life 3 works too.
And if times are more rough, pray to RNGesus.
Absolutely. Sometimes blocking the calmness is all you got, and that's just an easy baby game. All you got to do is block the calmness. I don't know why everybody's so worried about
Or just hope calmness aims at the person you least need in your party.
it. True, true. All right, so tier 4. I can't imagine this is going to take very long. What do we have to deal with on this guy?
60,000 with Kefka. When you do Kefka always leads with Fallen 1, then uses various attacks. Once you do about 30,000 damage, Kefka will say the end comes beyond chaos and start charging up for Goner. Once 30,000 damage is done and not in Goner phase, Kefka will counter everything.
Yeah, well, we're already at 32,000 damage, so this should kill him. So that's a god for you, folks. He's real tough when you have this much offense.
The thing is, when you're doing 32,000 around, Kefka is 60,000 HP. You do the math.
GG's to Rybon with a finish time of 107.49 on my timer here. GG's in chat, everybody. Wonderful, wonderful run on his end with a 107 in potion. What is happening to Ultros League? Out of control.
This seed happened.
Is this Megalixir? I think it might be Megalixir. Did we mix this up, Glue? Are you Rybon?
Yeah, has anyone checked Rybon's stream? Is it as swole as normal?
All right, we're gonna see if Rybon will be available for a interview afterwards. But it looks like Night Dew is next up in line on Final Kefka. Let's see how it goes. See that Ragnarok swinging for 7,200, which is just incredible.
And we are joined by tonight's winner, Rybon. GG's.
Hi, Dave. Thanks. That was a very fast one.
How do you feel about those kind of seeds? The ones that it's just go.
First of all, I didn't know Double Gigantos was actually a thing. So I was very happy to see that because I was wondering, how am I going to power up the Shadow? How am I going to get levels? I passed up on that XP egg afterwards. I'm like, did I really need that XP egg? But no, it was the Atma weapon just kept on falling, and we had a Strength +2 Esper to start off with from one of the freebies, I believe. So the path forward was pretty clear for this one. It was just, could you find your Espers in time? And I was getting a little worried near the end there, doing Doma Dream and Celeste showing up and not finding the Esper that I was looking for, and then doing Magitech Facility and not finding an Esper again. Another Ragnarok. I don't need that. And eventually everything fell into place, though.
Yeah, it seemed like you played it really well. I mean, this seed was probably one of the most generous seeds I've seen in a long time. I mean, a 107.47 is incredible. I have to ask, is this a new PB for Rybon?
It is not. I got a 105 something a few, maybe like 10 seeds ago. So it's close. Ooh. And it would have been nice, but no, not today. Maybe if I put Sabin on the left and I put Setzer on the right, and I wouldn't have had as much trouble, I guess, with that Doom. Or maybe if my X-Zones hit on the first tier. It could have been a PB, but I'm still happy with the time. It's a lot better than my practice seeds lately.
Oh, yeah. I mean, a 107.45 is nothing to scoff at. So, just absolutely well done. I mean, with Edgy here, we were both just saying, oh, well, they got the Atmas. We know that there's offerings for sale. We know that there's Genjis for sale. So we should probably go hunt some dragons. And you just went immediately on a dragon hunt. So, it's as far as I'm concerned, it looked like that you played it super well. You used that offense maximum to its maximum potential, and just the fact that you can go to Floating Continent and you managed to find those double Gigantos was just the icing on the cake. And sorry to interrupt for a moment there, but we do have a GG's from Night Dew with a 111 sharp. GG's in chats, everybody. With Bubbaski on the way to tier 4 himself, not far behind at all.
And tons of Jet Seed all around. Physics,
yeah.
Tell me, do you think the Floating Continent play was valid or not? Because I know people don't seem to like Floating Continent. It's a slow check. I know it's 3 checks. I was looking for characters primarily, and luckily ran into an Umaro up there, but I don't know if it was the right check for the time, because it is kind of slow.
Personally, it's all going to be situational for me. I think with the amount of progression that you currently had and the obscene offense that you had, it was probably the right choice. And it was just made all the better with the fact that the random encounters you ran into up there was just so busted that it made it completely worth it. But you slashed through everything so quickly, it barely put a dent in your time. So I think it was the right call in this seed for the progression that you needed, and it did work out.
Yeah, I have to agree. Needing 2 characters, you didn't have the Cyan yet, so needing 2 characters, it's a perfectly good play.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good point.
it is all situational, and I can say that, there are multiple ways through this seed, all of which are valid, because we've seen both. We saw Bubba Ski not do Floating Continent, and you and Night Dew both did Floating Continent. So we saw both sides, and both were super valid and probably pretty similar speed. The main difference being those Gigantos encounters going to give you like 5 extra levels on everybody else if you did it.
Yeah, Night Dew, what do you think of those double Gigantos up there?
Exactly what I needed. Exactly when I needed it. It doubled Locke's firepower with the double Atma weapon at that point. Yeah, it was kind of nuts.
Yeah, I was gonna say GG Night Dew. 111 is an incredible time. I'll ask you as well. Is that a PB for you, or have you done better before?
That is a PB. That is definitely a UL PB by 3 minutes.
Hey, congratulations, Night Dew, on the new PB. Let's get some GGs in chat. Yeah, how do you feel after running a seed like that?
I mean, given the power, I'm not surprised that Rybon didn't finish before me there. But yeah, I mean, I can't be mad at anything like that. Maybe I should have stopped fishing Meaps looking for that second offering, I guess, there. I don't think we ever saw Vanilla Gigantos or the Katana Soul, and I think those were like 2 of the last ones remaining.
Yeah. Quick interruption here. Bubbaski has finished with a 112.52. Let's get some GGs in chats for him as well. 3 incredible times across all 3 of our runners today. NG Dave, what kind of questions you got for Night Dew here?
The same thing I asked Rybon first, Night Duo. What are you thinking when you run into a seed that's just that power heavy from the start?
So I'm looking at this, and I kind of have that metric of, am I at, 12 plus checks at about the 40-minute mark? I'm about at 15 at that point. That tells you all you need to know. I mean, it's just Atma Weapon Ragnarok. Here, have all the tier 3 spells you need. It was kind of telling that the Magitech Sabin that rolled up on his magic ended up being my support person. The only thing I'm worried about at the end, probably cost me a little bit of time, was I had absolutely no calmness protection, so I outfitted my 2 other members like, I'm going to lose somebody up there. It's going to happen. And it did. But other than that, I mean, just drilling through that seed was, yeah, there was, at about 25 minutes, there was the feeling that nothing was going to stop me anywhere.
Since we had this discussion earlier, how many lightsabers is too many lightsabers?
No such thing. Honestly, I was thinking about going and purchasing another Genji glove and seeing if Shadow could join the dual wield club. But aside from that, 3 Minervas, 3 equipable Minervas, and Terra and Celeste are nowhere to be seen in the seed.
Well, about that. Celis was definitely to be found in the seed, not like it actually mattered. They were hanging out in Doma Dream. So if you had gone there, she was the guaranteed progression there. It was a dead check followed by a Celis followed by an Esper. So it was not ideal considering at that point when you guys got Cyan, it wasn't really what you were looking for. It was mostly Espers at that point. So I know you went a different route, but it worked out just as well.
Yep.
I have to ask, did anybody not find statue skip?
Everyone got it.
Everybody got it? Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking when I hit, I want to say it was 17 with Cyan, so I'm thinking, okay, I need 2 Espers. Let's go hit Mount Zozo, and actually, no, it was 16 because I picked up Opera House Dragon too. But it was listed Mount Zozo and Doma Defense, hit the 2 dragons, and all willing will hit 20, and I can just go hit the center lane for the last 2. And it worked out.
Yeah, speaking of great unlock times, Bubbaski GG's with a 112.52. How are you feeling?
GG, that was insane. I've never had that much power that early in one seed. Just everybody could equip every big stick you find.
For sure. Is this a PB for you as well? We got 2 PBs in one stream?
Yes, that's also another PB.
Hey, 2 PBs in one stream. GG's. Love to hear it. How were you feeling when you went to Zozo World of Ruin and not only got your Esper but your skip at the same time? I'm sure you breathed quite the sigh of relief there.
I was like, where else can I possibly go? I don't want to get tower skip before I get the unlock, so I was just praying it was going to be an Esper.
And it was. You were blessed. Got your unlock and skip at the same time, which always feels great, and then finished it out strong. Really, really well done.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, Angie, you got any questions for Bubba?
You covered the one about the. You already covered that. You're the only one who didn't. You're the only one of the runners who didn't choose floating continent. Is that just preference?
It mostly preference. I want to hit it before the 30-minute mark, if I can do it at all. And it was like 34 minutes in when I thought about doing it, and I said, it's too late. I'm already 4 minutes past my cutoff. I'm not doing it. Not touching it.
Yeah, I definitely understand that thought process. The main thing that was missed there was a single double Gigantos encounter, which, of course, it's a
Incredible.
tremendous amount of experience found on there. There wasn't multiples, but just one was enough to nearly double Shadow's damage at the time. So that's the main thing you missed there. I don't know that it lost you a whole lot of time, but you did a lot faster checks, but slightly less powered, while the others did some longer checks, but slightly more powered. So it was really pretty equal with the different routes for sure. Yeah, but just an amazing showcase from everybody here. That's all I have. Rybon, you got any parting words?
That was fast. I wasn't planning to be done that early. I guess I'll eat dinner early, but no, primarily Dave, Physic, thank you for putting up fantastic commentary. Looking forward to watching it back. Glue and Glue and Cheech, thank you both for doing the work behind the scenes. And GG's Nightdew, GG's Bubbaski, and looking forward to the last 2 weeks of Ultros League.
Indeed.
Definitely. Good luck
Absolutely.
wrapping it up, Rybon.
Thank you for agreeing to put on the show. Otherwise, people have to listen to an hour and a half of physics and I yapping.
Who doesn't want that?
Nobody wants that. Ugh.
You guys haven't started your podcast yet?
Oh, we need to. We're working on it. We're working on the final details.
All right.
We'll make sure that you're the first to know. All right, Nightdew, how about you? Any parting words for us tonight?
No, I mean, thanks for freeing up a little bit on my night. I've been putting together some better Cs, but I was not looking forward to putting up a $111 here. So, yeah, go home early, get some dinner, something like that.
I'm on it. I appreciate it. GG's today, and good luck with your last 2 weeks of Ultros League.
Thank you.
And lastly, Bubbaski, any last words for us tonight?
Last words here are absolutely 100% thank you, Restream team, both the commentators and the ones behind the scenes. Absolutely incredible work every time. And huge shout out to our Pod D Potion member, Jeremy Arroyo, and your dog, our dog, that I know you've said has passed recently. And huge shout out, huge PBs in here. We've all got that dog in us tonight for your dog.
Absolutely, representing for sure. Well done. And with that, I think that about wraps it up. Thank you again, Rybon, Nightdew, and Bubbaski, and of course, thank you very much as well, NG, Dave, Glue, and Cheech. NG, it was a pleasure commentating with you today.
Yes, thank you, Physics. This has been a blast. Great partner, great race. What more could you ask for?
Definitely. I had a fantastic time. Hope to be able to commentate with you again sometime soon. But I think with that, that's going to wrap it up for us. So I'm going to go ahead and send that over to Glue. See if we can find somewhere to raid over and show some love to. Glue, take it on.
Yeah, thank you guys for a fantastic job. Thank you, Rybon, Night Dew and Bubbaski again for agreeing to do your restream tonight. We appreciate you. And then hope, Jeremy, you are doing well. I know, as Bubba mentioned, you lost Chewy this week, and my thoughts and prayers with you. I'm sure many others are as well. We are going to raid on over to RPG Limit Break. There's some FF1R/FFMQ action going on, so let's go pay them a visit before we head off, and hope everybody has a lovely evening.